Welcome back to Watanagashi. So, where we last left off, we met Shion. And of course, she gave a decent meal on the most part. So let's see what happens. I rushed back to my room, eating as I gave my thanks. It was so delicious that my stomach could cry. Shion. No, Mion. When she heard I was so hungry I could die, she brought this over to me. He's still getting confused. It was delicious to the last bite. By the way, nothing strange had been mixed in. I was a bit embarrassed in myself for being so skeptical. Oh, I guess that was it. Yeah, received new tip. It was delicious. Oh, so that was the end of chapter 3 on the most part. Food for thought. Another achievement. Classic. Let's view the new tip. Hey, Mion. Here. What is it, Kei-chan? I thrust the bento box she'd given me yesterday at her face. It had the food you gave me in it. Thanks. It was great. Mion's face quickly flushed a bright red. Hey now, you were the one pretending to be Shion when you gave it to me. You're gonna give it away if you get all red like that when you're being Mion. Oh boy. At this rate, she might trip and fall right into her own grave, so I decided to help her out. Listen, I was pretty hungry yesterday. Out of the blue, Shion came all the way to my house and gave me some food in a bento box. This is that box. Make sure you wash it out. Ah, right. Shion's really considerate, huh? That was so transparent. Was Mion always this terrible at lying? Her expression was different than usual, but it looked strangely cute. So, what did you think? You two are like peas in a pod. You're twins, right? Obviously, you'd look the same. Not that, Mion looked kind of bewildered, like she was waiting for a specific answer. When she said impression, maybe she didn't mean Shion, but the bento? Oh, of course. It was delicious. Really? I never lie about liking food, of course. If I say something's good, then it's obviously or objectively good. You can feel free to give my recommendations to every single person you meet. Tell Shion it was seriously great, alright? Okay. Tell Shion, right? I will. I think she'll be happy. We're going along with Shion having given it to me, not Mion, aren't we? Yet her laugh, it came from deep down, and it sounded really happy. I guess she really can laugh nicely enough that just looking at her makes me feel better too. A sarcastic remark made its way onto my tongue, but I swallowed it back. As Mion went to put the bento box in her bag, she noticed a clattering noise. Hey Chan, there's something inside. Huh? Wow. Gosh, she opened it. The thing inside was a little embarrassing, so I wish she hadn't opened it here. Panicking, I hid it with my hands. Well, my mother told me to put them in as thanks. I didn't come up with it or anything. Don't get the wrong idea. It's so pretty. Candy. There was a handful of candies, neatly wrapped in paper, inside the sparkly clean bento box. When I was cleaning the box out yesterday in the sink, Mom came over and interrogated me, and I fessed up as to who had given me the food. Then she told me that something like this called for a display of gratitude. I didn't want to because it was embarrassing, so I argued that it wouldn't be like me to do that. Well, that's what happened. I mean, ugh. I was so embarrassed it felt like fire might shoot out of my face. Mion, laughing the whole thing off like she usually did, would be fine, but for some reason she was staring at the candy in the box with fascination. Thank you. Don't thank me. Thank my mom. She put them in there. Besides, you're not the one I need to be thanking, right, Mion? Those are for Shion, okay? Ah, right. You're right. Okay. I'll be sure to tell Shion. I just know she'll be happy. Mion, looking a little downtrodden, put the lid back in the box. Seemed like I ended up saying something a little mean at the end. Michan, you look sorta cozy today. Did something happen? Did it? Perhaps she's caught a fever? The red in her face is probably due to the increased body temperature. Hey, Rika! Why are you petting my head? Gee, I wonder why. Satoko, I'm sure you'll be able to catch fevers soon enough. Well, of course. More petting. Pet, pet. Oh boy. Think there's something. So hopefully my another mic can pick up, of course. Unless... let me see here, hold on. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's double check on the view tips. Okay, so we did all 4 tips on the most part. I'm going to save here just in case if I lose any progress on the most part. So, guess we're on... Yeah, we're on chapter 4. I keep losing track. I might have explained this before, but phys ed at our school, or in full name, physical education, at our school is really just an exercise in disorder. After some random warm-ups, the rest of the time is spent doing whatever. You're free to cause a ruckus or just fall asleep. Oh, that's a perfect right there. I'm not really sure, but doesn't the Board of Education have some sort of curriculum for this? Something like, when you're this old, you should have this amount of physical ability? I have no idea what you're saying, Keiichi-san. It's rather difficult to understand. Well, you see, it's something like a rule for teachers to follow during class. Maybe you weakling city folk need something like that. But do you really think us country-raised kids would lag behind in physical ability? We're better athletes than you would think, Keiichi. Come to think of it, they might be right. If we all lined up for a race, there was a good chance I'd finish dead last if I didn't start off well. Let's just pray that when a brutal penalty game is at stake, the 100-meter dash isn't a club activity. On that note, I watch too much television, so I'm fantastically tired. I'll be using this time to catch up on my sleep. It's 4th period and I'm completely starved. If I don't sleep now, when will I ever? As I began to sprawl out on top of a pipe, Mion grabbed me by the collar. Oh boy, what's going to happen? Tis. Do you really think I'd let you sleep in peace and quiet? I wish. With that look on your face, it'll require more courage to try and take a nap than not. Good grief. Which means, is it going to start again? Now, just killing time with idle chit-chat until the bell rings is impossible for us hot-blooded youth, isn't it? Shall we start a club activity? Oh boy. Just as I thought, it's come to this. What's today's game? Now that this is happening, taking a nap is impossible. Not just that, with this sleep-deprived head of mine, I'm as good as mincemeat. I have to get my brain into gear. Reina thinks that we should decide what today's penalty game should be before we start. Reina knows what's up. I prepared something super special today. She began to announce the cruel penalty game with this grand spinning flourish. But before she could do that... I'm sorry, I have something that I wanted to do. Of all people, it was Rika-chan announcing her non-participation. Even rare events do eventually occur. Losing her timing, Mion spun like a top as she tumbled to the ground. What? Huh? What's the matter? Are you not feeling well? Oh, that's right. Mi-chan, she has to practice for the Watanagashi. That's right. It's this Sunday. Rika is in the middle of super serious training right now. I've been working too hard lately, so my arms hurt. I see. Well, there's nothing that can be done. There's no point in doing anything if we can't get everybody together. Today, let's just take it easy. I'm very sorry, but I'll try my best. Yeah, good luck. We'll be cheering you on. When Mion announced that today's club activity was cancelled, Rika-chan and Satoko headed off behind the school building. Only I was left alone, completely clueless as to what everybody was talking about. Oh, sweet. So I guess it's cancelled for the most part. Oh boy, that penalty, whatever penalty game it is, has to be crazy. What was that about? Is Rika-chan training for a competition or something? No, it's a competition for a festival, but, well, yeah. Something. Rika-chan is a shrine maiden for the Watanagashi, so she has to perform a ritual dance. It's practice for that. Why don't you explain things in order? First of all, what is this Watanagashi? Next, what do you mean by shrine maiden? Last, what do you mean by ritual dance? Huh? Didn't you get the notice at your house, Kei-chan? Wasn't it written there? The Watanagashi festival is this Sunday. Huh? Come to think of it, I have a feeling Mom did say something about it during dinner the other day. Wow, and you didn't even fully listen to it. The Watanagashi is a festival that happens at the shrine on the Sunday every June. It's very lively. I see. But Watanagashi sounds like a pretty strange name for it. Not really. Is this something like the Lantern Festival where they have a memorial for the dead by floating things down the river? Oh, I figured you might guess right, Kei-chan. The Watanagashi or Cotton Drift Festival is, as the name implies, where we set cotton to drift down the river. The cotton you see is from futons or jackets, so it'll be something like a futon memorial. They also pile futons up on the altar. I've heard of people leaving offerings of things like needles or kitchen knives to their ancestors or to casualties of war. But an offering of futons is a first for me. What's the history behind that? Mion tilted her head pensively. I don't think there's a complicated backstory to it. The winters around here are pretty harsh, so things like warm futons and coats to ward off the cold are fairly important, I guess. Ah, I see. In other words, it's something like giving thanks to the futons that took care of you during the winter then. Yes. Then the shrine maiden holds a memorial service for them and set them adrift. That's what the Watanagashi is. Mion and Reina indicated that I had the correct answer with a round of applause. And you see, that shrine maiden performing the memorial is Rika-chan. Oh? So Rika-chan is a shrine maiden. Now that you mention it, Rika-chan does have a mystical air about her. Right. Rika-chan in a shrine maiden outfit. Oh. So cute. Oh great. It certainly does seem like it would suit her. Yeah, it might be cute. I finally get what you're saying. Rika-chan's training is for her performance as a shrine maiden then. That would be it. The Shrine Maiden has to purify a number of futons as part of this ceremony. Let's practice for that. It's a lot of hard work. The Shrine Maiden has to carry a large ceremonial hoe as part of the rite, and it's really heavy for Rika-chan. Well, Rika-chan is pretty small. Exactly how heavy is that hoe? It's pretty heavy. Enough that Rika-chan has been practicing with a mochi mallet. A farming tool. Wait a minute. That's way too heavy. Forget about Rika-chan. That'll be even rough. That'll be rough even for me. It's a sacred ceremonial hoe. If she dropped it by accident, it'll be big trouble. Well, it's a once-a-year kind of deal. All we can do is cheer from the sidelines. It'll be okay. She pulled it off last year. Really? Then the least I could do is cheer her on. Even something that little would help, right? I was rather curious about exactly how she practiced. Mion laughed as she shook her head. Leave her alone. If you go, Rika-chan will get all cute and won't be able to practice. Huh? I didn't quite understand what Mion was saying. You see, Rika-chan doesn't like showing people how hard she works. Okay? So just leave her be. Even though always cool and aloof, Rika-chan has times when she sweats while giving it her all. Because she was always so well put together, she didn't want people to see an ungainly side of her. It's not like I couldn't understand that feeling. All I can do is pray for her success, huh? Do your best. Rika Farud. I'm cheering for you. Well then, I climbed up onto the pipe and plopped down on my side. Hooray, hooray, Rika-chan! In order to transmit more of my psychic waves of encouragement, I'll be entering a meditative state now. Zzz. So you're just going to sleep after all? God damn it. Great. The lackadaisical, I think that's how you pronounce that word, noontime ended up giving way to mind-numbing afternoon classes. Oh boy. Afternoon classes. Rebounding from yesterday's hunger, I ate too much for lunch today, leaving me in a horrible condition. Oh god. I might have gorged myself a little bit too much. I'll have to endure afternoon classes. Keiichi-kun, you had an amazing appetite today. Basically, you always eat like a pig, but today was on a whole different level. Yesterday I skipped lunch, right? That hunger just soaked right in. This time, no matter how much I ate, my hunger knew no bounds. I get you. But really, Kei-chan, you always finish your lunch down to the last bite. Heck, even down to the last grain of rice. With food, you show your appreciation for the person who made it by eating it, you know. If you leave any behind, it's rude to the person who put in all that effort. Hearing that, Mion's eyes momentarily widened in surprise, followed by a cool laugh. Hey-chan, really? At first glance, you seem unruly and irresponsible, but you're actually pretty conscientious. Conscientious, or whatever. Well-disciplined, or something like that. Yeah, Reina thinks so too. Keiichi-kun is a lot kinder than he looks. Both of them were probably trying to compliment me, but I had a strange feeling I wasn't being complimented at all. That's not true. I just wanted to say that there's a big gap between your appearance and your personality. And I'm saying that's not a compliment. Hey, Sonozaki-san, my Barakun, we're in the middle of class. How far did you get, Sonozaki-san? Bring your notes up here. Startled, Mion vocalized a rather easy-to-understand utterance. She was so enthralled in the conversation she had stopped working completely. Doing alright. You haven't progressed at all. You're in the highest grade, so you have to shape up. That Mion, it looks like she's getting lectured. Poor bastard. Wow. Appearances can be deceiving, in other words. Actually, appearance might be the opposite of reality. You say some interesting things. Responding to Reina's seemingly profound statement, I turned my gaze to where Satoko was happily studying together with Rika-chan. Are you saying that brat Satoko is actually really meek? If I went by what Reina literally said, then that would be the case. I could hardly imagine Satoko being meek and gentle like a girl in some fairy tale. Satoko-chan's been rude lately, but just a while ago she was pretty different. She acted really spoiled and always, yep. Keep this a secret from Satoko-chan, okay? That's Satoko, acting so cute. For Satoko to play coy, I think that would have to be some part of some calculated plot. Even if she was to hide behind someone, I wouldn't think it was because she was attached to them. But since it came up, I try to imagine a gentle and coquettish Satoko. The heck is happening here? Hey, Satoko. What is it, Oni-sama? Satoko smiled cutely and walked towards me. By the way, for every 3 steps forward, Satoko took. For some reason, I took 3 steps away. Huh? Oni-sama, why are you running away? Sorry, Satoko. For you to approach me with an affectionate smile on your face, I just have to think it's some sort of trap. But that's so mean. Oni-sama, you big meanie. Oh my god, and she went crying. Wow! My god. So sorry, I didn't intend to be so mean. The weeping Satoko came closer to me. I'm a sucker for tears. Click. Clank. Huh? A bear trap? My leg was being clamped down on by jagged metal teeth. Oh ho ho ho. You fell for it. Now for the next part. Satoko raised her right arm triumphantly, and traps began to trigger one after another. Suddenly the wall sprang forward, throwing me 3 blocks away. And there I saw a giant metal ball covered in spikes, hurtling towards me. On top of that, in the direction the ball would knock me was a giant guillotine. I'm not really sure, but Keiji-kun, you're not thinking of anything completely ludicrous right now, are you? Not really. Not at all. It was just that's a lie. You've got the kind of look on your face that says, I'm gonna be crushed by a giant spiked metal ball. Oh shit, she knew. How could my expression convey what I was thinking like that? Sorry. Imagining a meek and gentle Satoko is impossible right now. I'll try again when I'm in a better shape. Next, I looked over at Rika-chan, who was working diligently on some kanji drills. In contrast to Satoko, her default state was meek and gentle. If Rika-chan came at me saying, Oni-sama, I'd hug her tightly. I could get used to that. Keiji-kun, you're drooling. Ah, sorry. Then how about Rika-chan? Are you saying that her appearance is deceiving as well? Saying that out loud, I felt a tinge of doubt. Was Rika-chan really all sweet? Despite her appearance, she really was quite sly. Sweetly, how do you put it? Evading things deftly? I get the feeling that Rika-chan isn't only just sweet. Her appearance is definitely deceiving. I couldn't put exactly what I was imagining into words, but Reina managed to say what I wanted to. She turned to me with an impish look in her eyes, like she was saying, you shouldn't say something like that. When Rika-chan grows up, I'm sure she'll become an incredibly devilish beauty, with men wrapped all around her little finger. Don't you think that would be cool? Reina said that lightheartedly, but I, as a man, couldn't laugh at that. The scary part about that was that it felt like it could be true. Noticing my gaze, Rika-chan turned towards me and let loose with an angelic smile. Both Reina and I, feeling as if that was directed towards us personally, had our hearts skip a beat. Oh, so cute, so cute. Reina, your nose is bleeding. Appearances can be deceiving, huh? Well then, what about our dear leader, Mion? I stared at her as she tried to weasel her way out of her scolding by the teacher. By Reina's theory, that unrefined, calculating, conniving Mion also had a side of her that belied appearances. Or belied? Bellied? Or maybe it's belied appearances. Then what you're saying is that Mion, despite her appearance, is actually a good person? Mi-chan is a good person. Oh well, that is true. But what I'm trying to say is... Yep, I know what you're trying to say, Keiji-kun. Catching on that, I was struggling to express my feelings as words. Reina smiled even more brightly. Know what? Mi-chan is mysterious, right? She's a girl, but it's like she's a guy. That's right. Mion was more than aware that she was a girl, but it was exactly as Reina said. When Mion livened up the mood, it wasn't as though she felt like a guy or a girl, specifically, but a friend of the same gender. If she were a guy, we'd probably be like two peas in a pod. Although that's the same way it is right now. But you see, even that Mi-chan is actually really feminine. Reina, how much did Mion pay you exactly? That's not true. Jeez, I'm trying to have a serious conversation, you know. Reina began to pout. Now probably wasn't the right time to joke around. Mi-chan is the club president, so she's trying hard to lead everybody. But she's really a very cute girl. I really don't want you to forget that, Keiji-kun. Reina's gaze focused off into the distance beyond where Mion was. The Mion that I met at Angel Mort was unimaginably different compared to the Mion that I normally knew. Flustered and hesitant from the unfamiliar job, it was a far cry from the brash and confident Mion. Even though she had to hurry to work, she went through all the trouble to bring me food when I was on the brink of starvation. And she did so not as Mion, but as Shion. What exactly was Shion to Mion? What kind of person was Mion exactly? Keiji-kun probably couldn't even begin to imagine. Begin to imagine. As if to say it was our little secret, Reina held her finger up to her lips as she giggled. Mion, finally free from the teacher's preaching, returned to her seat, cradling her head to hide her embarrassment. This old man, you see, thinks that grade school is enough for everything you need to study in foreign life. Saying that, she plopped down into her seat violently. Mion was actually really feminine, right? I wonder if I can meet Shion again. I wanted to talk to her again. Oh, you will one day, promise me. Clang, clang. The principal waved around the bell that served as the school chime. The teacher rushed back to the blackboard and began to list everybody's homework assignments. Well, shit. I hate homework. Whoa, it looks like there's gonna be a lot of homework today. Gotta buckle down. Well then, that means even Reina? Huh? What do you mean? Appearances can be deceiving. Would that apply to you too? Huh? Hey, Chikun, how do you see me? How? The Reina Ryugu that I knew sometimes took things too far, but was generally a kind and gentle, ideal girl. Really? Really? Then that makes me happy, I guess. If she was the opposite of what she seemed, that would make her... And if I were really the opposite? Just try saying it, I won't be mad. That's what I felt she meant. Reina is... Reina is... It... Even if you were the opposite, you'd still be Reina, right? This question shouldn't have been so nerve-wracking to answer. Maybe it was because the person in question was staring at me, but even saying that took a strange amount of effort. That's no fair, Keiichi-kun. It bothers me when you say it that way. Oh. Perhaps unable to endure my silence, Reina's face began to burn red with embarrassment. Reina! Hey, child. Let's go home. Mion walked over and started getting ready to go home. Whenever school is over, she really does get noticeably more energetic. Why, of course. That's her favorite part. Alright, I'm just gonna pause it here for now. So next part, let's see how walking home really goes on chapter 3. So, wait, chapter 3? I thought it was chapter 4. Oh yeah, it's chapter 4. I always keep losing track. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and see you later. Have a good one.